BBC News, I'm John Shea. In his first statement since the death of the Duke of Edinburgh on Friday, Prince Charles has paid tribute to his father's public service. The Prince of Wales spoke from Highgrove, his home in Gloucestershire. John Kay reports.
Wearing a black tie, Prince Charles emerged from the front door of his Highgrove home to deliver this statement on behalf of the royal family.
My dear Papa was a very special person who, I think above all else, would have been amazed by the reaction and the touching things that have been said about him. And from that point of view, we are, my family, deeply grateful for all that. It will sustain us in this particular loss and at this particularly sad time.
Much has been said and written over the years about the very different characters of Prince Charles and Prince Philip, but the Highgrove estate is a reminder of the shared interests of father and son, their love of farming, the countryside, heritage and polo.
Earlier, Buckingham Palace announced that the Duke would be laid to rest next Saturday at St George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. The Prime Minister of St Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves, has said it's unclear how much more ash will vent from the volcano that erupted on the Caribbean island on Friday. Mr Gonsalves said water supplies had been cut in most of the island and its airspace closed. Candace Peart reports.
Residents of St Vincent woke on Saturday to the rumbling of their volcano, known as La Soufrière. After decades of inactivity, it had erupted twice on Friday, sending dark clouds of ash 10 kilometres into the air. Thousands of people have fled to the safety of shelters. Large areas of the island are covered with ash, a ghost-like landscape under hazy skies. The country's emergency services have warned that the clouds of ash and steam were increasing, along with a strong smell of sulphur, and more people may need to evacuate.
In Barbados, nearly 200 kilometres to the east, residents have been urged to stay indoors as thick plumes of volcanic ash move through the atmosphere. Activists in Myanmar say the military brutally suppressed a protest in the city of Bago on Friday, killing dozens of people. Residents in the city northeast of Yangon said that more than 30 people had been killed. A monitoring group put the number of dead at more than 80. Witnesses told local media that soldiers had used heavy weapons and had shot at anything that moved. New York police have arrested a man on suspicion of hate crimes after he made threats and anti-Asian remarks to an undercover officer assigned to a hate crimes task force. The case follows a reported spike in hate crimes against Asian Americans. Officials said the man had told the officer he should go back to China. World News from the BBC. The Turkish president has described as worrying the situation in the eastern Ukrainian region of Donbass, adding that Ankara's assessment of it coincided with that of Kiev. The region is occupied by Kremlin-backed gunmen, and Ukraine, along with Western countries, has expressed concern about Russian troop movements in the wider region. Recep Tayyip Erdogan said the conflict should be resolved peacefully, but he stressed that any solution must respect Ukraine's territorial integrity. Islamist militants have attacked the northeastern Nigerian town of Damasak, close to the border with Niger. Reports say fighters from the group, Islamic State West Africa Province, have been looting offices and warehouses belonging to humanitarian organisations and setting fire to them. Nigerian forces are understood to be engaging the jihadists with air support. A woman jockey has won the Grand National, Britain's richest steeplechase, for the first time. Success caps an extraordinary month for the Irishwoman Rachel Blackmore, who was crowned top jockey at the Cheltenham Festival in March, another first. Her mount, Minella Times, took up the running at the final of the 30 fences to pull clear of the field and write Blackmore into the history books. The jockey said it was an exhilarating victory.
I just got such an unbelievable passage through the race. Minella Times just jumped fantastic, brought me from fence to fence. I thought jumping 2 out, was trying not to, just as we turned in before 2 out, was trying to hold on to him a bit. It's a long way home, but he was just unbelievable.
2 rare white Bengal tigers from a zoo in Argentina have arrived in the US for a transfer to a wild animal sanctuary in Colorado. The cats flew for 11 hours to Dallas before a 9-hour drive to their new home. The zoo in Buenos Aires was closed in 2016 to create a new eco-park concentrating on wildlife conservation. BBC News.